Train the muscles, not the joints.
So welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about closed-mindedness as opposed to open-mindedness. And you're very lucky if you can have either one of these, because according to what I've seen on YouTube, there's really not a lot of mindedness going on. And you know, somebody just recently slandered me and whatever, there's a lot of no-mindedness going on there. Not in a good way, not in an enlightenment way, but just not in using the mind, period. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about closed-mindedness versus open-mindedness, and why, if you are closed-minded, you will stifle your results in the gym and in all areas of your life. Because you know what? I'm here to teach you about everything, not just about training. Because I've obviously just mastered that mountain, climbed to the top, you know, created a few more peaks of my own, and then climbed back down with a bunch of knowledge. So here you go. Yogis have been climbing mountains for thousands of years, you know, these great gurus, and sitting on mountaintops, and people go see them and say, hey, what's going on? Well, I didn't just climb the mountain, I became the mountain. And then I came back down. So here I am, talking to you guys now about stuff that some of you are smart enough to listen to, and some of you maybe not. So anyway, here's my scenario I'm going to paint for you right now. In a lot of videos that I do, a lot of things that I post, there'll always be somebody that goes on there and says, that's not how you do that, you do it this way. That's not how you exercise, that's not how you train, that's not how you know, da-da-da-da. I've talked to you a lot about this. And the fact is, this is a sign of a closed mind, because they're saying they adamantly know for sure that there is this one way of doing something, and they are assuming that all of these variables that go into deciding what to do are set. They're constants, as they're known in math, right? Instead of a variable, they're a constant. So basically they're assuming they know everything about not only your body, but everything there is to know about training, everything there is to know about what's going on in the human body in any one time, whether it's stages of life or whether it's with history and injuries, or maybe just different genetics, all this stuff. And they're saying, okay, this is the only way to do something. So for instance, a long time ago, oh yeah, I got to do the old man voice when I do that. A long time ago. So a guy says to me, you can't do incline curls pronated. They have to be supinated in order to activate the long head of the bicep, which crosses the shoulder. And although I would agree with this person, there are sometimes reasons that you might want to pronate. So movement's different, but even being on an incline, because the arm's behind, you do get a different level of activation, even with the hammer curl. Even though the hammer curl does focus more on this area, not as much on the bicep that crosses the shoulder, there still is a different way of stimulating the shoulder, because everything's sitting different, so there is a subtle difference. So that's why once in a while you'll see me supinate, and sometimes you'll see me pronate on incline curls. For instance, just hitting a different bicep head, and just the fact that you're leaning back like this, you are still getting the long head of the bicep. You're just not getting it the same way. Therefore, you're bringing in a little bit more of the bicep brachialis, or the bicep brachioradialis. So you're bringing in a little bit more of the forearm, or the bicep that crosses the elbow, and more is the forearm bicep, we can call it. And the fact is that this changes the dynamic of how deep you can go into failure, because the position is different, you're activating different muscles, you're getting a different stimulus, and sometimes different is good. I mean, we're living in a diverse world right now, so why isn't diversity good in training? Huh? Hey? Huh? As long as it doesn't injure you, why not? Why not try it out? I'm not here to tell you to go lift a tree over your head and then drop it or something, but I am here to say that sometimes experimenting and going outside your comfort zone can be a good thing. Now, you will see how far outside your comfort zone you should go, because Chase Taylor, I'm going to give you a shout out right now, because you know you're doing handstand push-ups and jumping up and down, hurting your shoulders and stuff. Sometimes you can go a little too extreme. So sometimes you guys are like children, you're pushing those boundaries, and I was there too. Don't worry, we're all little children here on this bodybuilding path. We're pushing the boundaries, trying to say, okay, where can the body adapt, where can it not? But at the same time, you will find that there is some benefit to experimentation and to trying new techniques. So in this way, an open mind is good, because an open mind says there is no technique that is set in time. There's the technique that works right now. And that is a really important thing to embrace, because the technique that works now will be different than the technique that worked 3 years ago, because there's a whole bunch of different physiological changes that happen in the body. Sometimes there's environmental changes. I mean, who knows? Maybe you're getting like probed by aliens in the middle of the night, and that's affecting your squat quite harshly, you know? You do ass to the grass and you might actually hurt yourself after getting an alien probing. So the bottom line is that you want to make sure that you're taking in the nowness in any sort of circumstance or any sort of date. Now, am I losing the light here? I think I'm losing the light because it's pretty dark. So cool. I had to reset the camera because it's pretty dark. I'm up in the woods and I'm losing the light really early here because, you know, it's just that time of year. So yeah, so if everything got brighter all of a sudden, don't panic. I just adjusted the camera. Everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. Don't panic. So yeah, when you're open-minded, you are taking into account the situation as it is, instead of imposing some sort of limited sort of belief upon the situation. So because of this, you become adaptable. You become like a cat. You know, you're adapting in any sort of environment. So experimenting with your training allows you to go into new territory, and being open-minded allows you to conduct these experiments, because there are a lot of people on the internet or all over the place that are saying this is the only way to gain strength, this is the only way to gain size. Sometimes there are reasons why you've done a program and then all of a sudden you notice you just can't adhere to that program anymore because of some situation. So something happens, maybe you get an injury and you can't do that 5x3 program you were getting so much success with for a period of time. Or sometimes you're noticing that a certain range of motion was working for a period of time until it doesn't, something snaps, and then you're like, oh shit, I guess I got to change something around. I have to change my range of motion. So because of this, when you're open-minded, you actually make those changes. When you're closed-minded, you don't, and you keep on doing the same thing over and over again, saying this must work because that's what worked before. And this can stifle your training and also cause you to get injured, and then you're long-term not training. Or you end up looking like you don't train at all because you're just basically doing stuff that doesn't work, like a few YouTubers I know on the internet right now. I won't mention any names, but you know who you are. I hope this helps you out with your training. Remember, open mind makes a big back. Biggity back. And big biceps. Okay, so open mind. Keep an open mind. Thanks a lot for watching. And if you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com. Thanks a lot to the Patreon supporters. There are a couple of you right now. So if you want to support this channel, please go to patreon.com. I have the link down below under Natural Gallant Bodybuilding, and you can give this channel $1 a month or $5 or 10 or whatever. Yeah, it's up to you, but it helps me make content and helps me continue to be able to do this for you guys. And thanks a lot for watching, and take care for now. And share my stuff.